Hey guys, I have a special video that I've been wanting to do for some time. This video is going to be about why I am a fan of id Software and why they are my favorite company or game developers out of the other companies and developers. So what you're watching is some Quake 1 gameplay, and there will be a mixture of some other games too, obviously by id Software. Not all of their games, because I feel like it's going to ruin the pacing by jumping to like seven different types of games. So anyways, let's get started. Now, I'm mostly a fan of id Software, specifically their FPS games. I never really got into Commander Keen, and even to this day it's not really my type of game really. But as I got older and I kind of retrospect and look back at its games, I realized that id Software is my favorite company. There was never a company I have more than 2 series I like. It's always like 1 or 2. Maybe some of them might have 3, but it's not on the same level compared to id Software's series. The thing with id Software is they love giving players that full experience, and what I mean by that is they want you to have good graphics and good gameplay at the same time. Every game they release, maybe except for Commander Keen and Rage, all follows that logic. Wolfenstein 3D, great visuals, and it's considered to be the very first FPS game. Doom, same thing with Wolfenstein 3D, and Doom's gameplay pretty much standardized the genre. Even when I first played Quake 3 Arena, I was just blown away with the visuals, but I was also having so much fun at the same time. I also realized when I first played Doom 3, I got that same feeling too. id Software have always made their games easy to pick up and play, but they always have a lot of depth and longevity into them. When you play any game by them with knowledge, it's just so interestingly fun for some reason. I try to figure out why, but I guess it's because there's just like a certain charm in their games. I love quad damage in Quake, and it just never gets old when you shoot enemies while hearing that cool quad damage effect, or killing a group of enemies with the BFG 9000. I always thought that killing Mecha Hitler was one of the most iconic thing ever out of the FPS genre, because seriously, what game does that? I think that's why I love their games so much, mainly because it's not realistic, it's just over the top, and if you think about it, games are more funner if there's more imagination built within them. It allows designers for more creativity towards their work. Let your imagination go wild, you know. Their games are also very dependent on the run and gun formula. I always love this style of gameplay when it comes to FPS games, because it really makes it engaging and intense. Like I said, their games are generally over the top, and if you put the run and gun feel to it, it makes it better. And I do believe that, you know, the run and gun formula should be used in the future of FPS games too, because I love fast-paced first-person shooters, and run and gun formula is pretty much the way to go. Speaking of the run and gun formula, it always gets criticized for being too dependent on it, but to me, I think it's great to rely on it. Why would you want to play a game that's like so realistic that it feels like a military simulation or something like that? Run and gun gameplay makes it fast-paced, pretty much like what I just said. It's exciting, and it really makes you feel like you're in the game, because generally you need to pay attention when you're trying to, what you're trying to aim. You have to pay attention on your strafing, you have to dodge, whatever. It's pretty much like, you know, Twitch reflexes. Also, both Quake and Doom are still very playable to this day. Maybe not Wolfenstein 3D, but Wolf 3D is still a great game for what it is, or at least you should pay respect to it. I always try to know some of the levels by heart, and once I do, I try to play it at a more faster pace, and let me tell you, it really makes the experience exhilaratingly amusing. I really don't think any developers can give me that type of experience like it does with their games. Ever since I was a fan of their games, they really kind of give me a lot of ideas of how I should design my own games, basically. It always kind of saddens me that id generally don't get considered to be the best FPS developer. It's always Valve, and I can totally understand why, but in my opinion, Valve games have always been boring to me. Although Left 4 Dead was okay, but it's not the same like Wolfenstein, Doom, or Quake, man. You know, as a fan of id Software, I really hope the best for them for Doom 4. Because I didn't enjoy Rage, and I do believe I stated this before, I want a new id Software game to play. They're my favorite developers, so yeah, it's pretty, you know, reasonable that I want a new game from them to play. Even though as much I enjoy their games, I still criticize them for some questionable stuff they do. Like Quake 2, I can't believe they couldn't come up with a name for that game, since Quake 2 wasn't supposed to be a sequel to the original Quake if you're not too familiar with the series. But they called it Quake 2 because they ran out of time. I still don't understand why we need a PC version of the BFG edition too. I mean, there was a Steam sale of the entire Doom games for like, what, $12, and it just makes it pointless to have the PC version of the BFG edition. But even though I do have my moments where I just don't understand of why they do this or that, I'm still a fan at the end of the day, mainly because of their great games they made for me to play. So the games I've used in this commentary are the original Quake, Doom 3, and Doom 2. I guess I'll put my thoughts on them. Alright, I'm sorry, I didn't have any gameplay, so the commentary kind of stopped there. So I'm going to put my thoughts on all the 3 games I posted in this commentary. So the original Quake, I really did enjoy it a lot. It did got a lot of criticism for being brown, and that's very true. It's not really like a, how can I say it? It's not an eye candy game. It's not really nice on your eyes. There were moments where they kind of used some weird color effect to change the colors of the game, but it just does not work. It's not really like a game like Crysis where you'll be going, oh wow, this looks nice, this looks amazing. It's not really a game like that. But I really do enjoy the original Quake. It is a lot harder and more challenging than the Doom games, so don't expect this game to be too hand-holding, especially the 4th episode. I think the 4th episode is a lot harder than the 4th episode in Doom. So I'm gonna start off with Doom 3. I've always liked Doom 3. A lot of people didn't like it a lot, mainly because it wasn't Doom 2 with pretty graphics, but I was getting kind of burned out on the classic Doom series, so I was really happy that this game was kind of different, but familiar at the same time. And yeah, I really do like this game. I agree it's not as good as the classic games, but it's still like a really good addition to the series. And I really want to, you know, try out the Lost missions because it looks really fun to play. And I also love the design of the Cacodemon in this one. I always thought that it looked cool. So that means I just gotta talk about Doom 2, and Doom 2, in my opinion, is easily my favorite id Software game. I love, you know, the original Doom, and I'm gonna have to add some more gameplay video because I'm really running out of gameplay video, so I'll be back. So I'm gonna continue about Doom 2. So when I first played Doom 2, I think it was the most memorable game for me. Like, I remember having no idea how powerful the double-barrel shotgun was, and once I tried it out, I just fell in love with with the gun, and I couldn't really use anything else really. And to me, it had a lot more memorable moments than the original game, like Map 8, Map 7, Map 8, a lot of moments, man. Even like the the way how the game introduces you, the Archvile on Map 11, that actually kind of scared me as a kid. Yeah, man, I love Doom 2. It's easily my favorite id Software game, and it's easily one of my all-time favorite games too. And that's why I have a lot of, you know, gameplay footages of it. But I still, you know, enjoy playing Doom 1 and Doom 3 and other games too, and other id Software games. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the commentary. Wow, I just don't have enough gameplay footage for my commentary, so this is going to be a long video. But yeah, if you have any question that you want to ask me, like how I feel about this game or that game by id Software, post it post it down in the comment section and I'll answer them. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So this is my entire thoughts about id Software, and I completely told you why I am a fan and all that stuff, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And with that said, I'm done. Peace.